Russian shelling triggers fire in Jap city of Sievierodonetsk. Governor Kyiv. Russian shelling of the Azot chemical plant within the Jap Ukrainian metropolis of Sievierodonetsk triggered a robust hearth on Saturday after a leak of tons of oil, the regional governor stated, as the battle for the city raged on. Russian forces' bid to seize Sievierodonetsk has ended up one of the bloodiest battles on the grounds that their February 24 invasion, with neither side delivering a knockout blow in weeks of combating that has pulverized chunks of the town. The governor of Luhansk province, Serhiy Gaidai, did no longer say if the fire at the plant, where loads of civilians are sheltering, have been extinguished. Couldn't independently confirm the document. Speaking on national TV, Gaidai stated non-stop preventing become raging in Sievierodonetsk, a small town in Luhansk that has turned out to be the focus of Russia's increase in Jap Ukraine. He stated in advance on Saturday that Russian forces managed maximum of the city but Ukraine controlled the Azot chemical plant. Ukraine has appealed for swifter deliveries of heavy guns from the West to show the tide of the warfare, saying Russian forces have at the least 10 instances extra artillery pieces than Ukrainian forces. Yet even if outgunned, Ukraine's navy has proved greater resilient than expected in early stages of preventing. President Volodymyr Zelensky struck a defiant notice on Saturday. "We are certainly going to be successful on this warfare that Russia has began," Zelensky informed a conference in Singapore through video link. "It is on the battlefields in Ukraine that the destiny rules of this global are being decided." After Russia changed into force to cut back its initial extra-sweeping marketing campaign desires, Moscow has turned to expanding manage within the east, where pro-Russian separatists had already held a swath of territory considering 2014. The Japanese place referred to as the Donbass includes the provinces of Luhansk, wherein Sievierodonetsk lies, and Donetsk. Russian strikes knocked out power components in Donetsk's biggest Ukrainian-controlled cities on Saturday, Kramatorsk and Sloviansk, regional governor Pavlo Kirilenko wrote at the Telegram app. Speaking in a while countrywide TV, he said the pass became a part of a deliberate strategy to cut off strength in cities in Donetsk that remain in Ukrainian fingers. "The enemy understands wherein he's hitting, and for what cause," he said. Grain shortages. The warfare between the neighbors, two of the sector's largest grain exporters, has reverberated properly past Ukraine. "If because of Russian blockades, we are unable to export our foodstuffs, which is so sorely missing in global markets, the world will face an acute and severe food disaster and famine in many nations of Asia and Africa," Zelensky informed the Shangri-La Dialogue Conference in Singapore. The United Nations stated on Friday up to 19 million more people in the world could face chronic hunger in the next year due to reduced wheat and different food exports. Ukraine's deputy agriculture minister said on Saturday as much as 300,000 tons of grain may additionally were saved in warehouses in the Black Sea port of Mykolaiv that Kyiv says were destroyed with the aid of Russian shelling. Ultimate weekend. Turkey has attempted to secure a deal so Ukraine can resume shipments from its Black Sea ports, which accounted for 98% of its cereal and oilseed exports earlier than the war. But Moscow says Kyiv should clear the ports of mines and Ukraine says it wishes security guarantees so it is not left exposed. Ukraine has again and again called for greater Western hands and nearer alignment with the West. As Ukrainian forces use the remaining of their shares of Soviet-era weapons systems and munitions, they will require consistent Western guide to transition to new supply chains of ammunition and key artillery structures, the Institute for the Study of War stated in a document on Friday. Effective artillery can be increasingly decisive inside the in large part static preventing in Japanese Ukraine, it said. The conflict for Sievierodonetsk and its destruction recall weeks of bombardment of the southern port city of Mariupol. It was decreased to ruins before Russian forces took manage of the city closing month, with the ultimate Ukrainian defenders surrendering from their redoubt within the Azovstal steel plant. Moscow has denied focused on civilians, but both aspects say they have inflicted mass casualties on each other's forces. Has now not been able to independently verify the battlefield reviews in the battle. Russia calls its actions a unique military operation to disarm and denazify Ukraine, while Kyiv and its allies name it an unprovoked conflict of aggression to seize territory.